Support NerdSpot on other forms of social media such as Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and of course YouTube. Go ahead and check out the links in the description below for more information.
Hey everyone, I am just going to throw this out there really quick. Spoiler warning for those of you who have not seen Avengers Endgame or anything within the MCU really. So if you haven't, please go ahead and just hit pause on this on this episode of the podcast. We are going to be going into some spoilers about Avengers Endgame, obviously what's going to be up next for the MCU going forward. So yeah, hit pause and come back to us whenever you have seen the movie. What is going on, everybody? This is Jess Joyner from NerdSpot here. Back again with the NerdSpot Nerdcast episode 2. Now, it's been almost a whole month removed from when Avengers Endgame was released. And I gotta be perfectly honest with you. Avengers Endgame was absolutely nuts. I've said this before and I'll say it again. 11 years, 22 movies, all interconnected, all telling stories, all sharing experiences with us, the audience. I mean, if you're anyone like me, you were a teenager when Iron Man came out and when it all started. You went through your teenage years with this. You went into your adulthoods, and we're all adults. We're now, and it's insane to think about. But obviously now after that whole first saga is done, where can the MCU go next? What is going to happen with the future of the MCU? What are we going to see moving forward? What can we expect from movies like Spider-Man Far From Home, which is coming out in July, guys? Sorry, I'm also getting over a little bit of a cold. So we're going to be talking about that. We're going to be looking over that. And, of course, we are going to be listening to some really, really awesome music. First up, we are going to just play some really good music. We are going to be listening to some music, obviously. So first up, we got Cyclonus Filth. That's right, my boys from up in Denver, Colorado, Cyclonus Filth. They just dropped a new track that today, guys, it was just absolutely punishing. So if you're into heavier music and you want to check that out, we'll definitely gonna go ahead and play it with that, and obviously leave links to them in the description below and everything. But this is gonna be a debut single off of their upcoming EP, The Emptiness You Feel. This one is called a celebration of suffering. Again, from the upcoming EP called The Emptiness You Feel. This is Cyclonus Filth. In case you have not heard the news, guys, breaking news: Avengers Endgame has crossed 2.6 billion at the worldwide box office. That's right, 2.6 billion wide, or at the worldwide box office. That means it has surpassed Avatar. I'm talking about the James Cameron's Avatar, by the way, guys. The alien space Fern Gully movie. It was decent. I liked Avatar, but man, Avengers Endgame is that big of a movie. That just proves that, you know, the hype with everything surrounding the movie, everything leading up to what had happened in Endgame, absolutely dominated. Everything was paid off. It was beautiful. But each and every action that was set up in the movie, everything that was talked about and that had happened in terms of, you know, the returning Avengers, obviously the Avengers that had died, and obviously some of the movies that are coming up after Endgame, after this first Infinity Saga, as Kevin Feige is starting to call it. Obviously, you know, with Iron Man's passing, the mantle is going to be passed to see who the next Iron Man will be, or who the next leader of the Avengers will be. You still have a lot of the newer Avengers that are going to be coming back, so obviously the likes of Spider-Man, Captain Marvel, Ant-Man, the Wasp, Black Panther. There's so much potential that we already have about, so that's what we're going to get back into. So again, I mean, just a quick spoiler warning. You guys have already been warned, whatever. If you're listening, you're pretty much wanting to know what's going to happen. You're wanting to find out what exactly we're going to be talking about and what's going to be happening in the MCU going forward. So, I mean, the MCU going forward, we have a lot of different theories on, you know, what's going to be happening, what are we going to notice, and, you know, what we're going to be seeing as far as, you know, what other movies can we expect. Now, a lot of different people are theorizing a lot of different things about the movies, especially after the events of Avengers Endgame. Obviously, the big elephant in the room, guys, you know, yes, Tony Stark, Long live Iron Man, guys. I mean, long live Tony Stark in the MCU. We're going to miss him, guys. Everyone's going to miss him. That's... Yeah. Obviously, you know, we all know what went down during the movie. We know that it's setting up so much more. For example, what just came out? The Spider-Man Far From Home trailer. And in the Spider-Man Far From Home trailer, if you guys listened, they specifically said that Nick Fury specifically said that the snaps that took place opened up several holes in different dimensions. So different universes have been confirmed in the MCU. Furtherly, Jake Gyllenhaal's character, Quentin Beck, aka Mysterio, had also confirmed that he is from a different universe. And the universe that the MCU is taking place of and that they are in right now is the 616 universe. Which, if you guys are also Marvel comic readers, the 616 universe is the main universe for Marvel Comics. So that does open up the possibility to different storylines, different timelines in the MCU. What if there was a timeline to where Tony ended up surviving? What if there was a timeline to where certain Avengers actually died? There's a lot of different possibilities, and who knows, this could lead up to a Secret Wars storyline in the future, which has been teased a little bit by the Russos, saying that they want to come back and do the Secret Wars storyline. So if we get that down the line, guys, I'm going to be so happy to hear about that. I'm going to be really excited, just like I was for Endgame. Anyways, guys, I mean, with Far From Home, we are going to see the continuation of Peter Parker's storyline in the MCU. So that is going to be picking up a few minutes after the events of Avengers Endgame. And we've already seen bits and pieces in the trailer that tell us, you know, hey, maybe Peter Parker is going to try to be the next Iron Man. I don't know 100% if that is going to be the case. I do think he wants to be a role model like he was. Like Tony Stark was to himself. So maybe something similar to that. A lot of different theories do confirm and also speculate that Harley Keener, the little boy from Iron Man 3, who did make an appearance at the end of Avengers Endgame in Tony Stark's funeral, maybe he becomes some form of the Iron Lad. What is even crazier about that is that, what if he became the Iron Lad? And also, Kevin Feige, in a recent Ask Me Anything on Reddit, teased the idea and confirmed that the Mandarin is actually going to be coming back. That's right, guys, the Mandarin. Obviously, you know, the Mandarin was teased in the very first Iron Man movie with, you know, the 10 rings. And the Iron Man, and also Iron Man 3, we all know what happened with that in terms of the Mandarin. So we figured out the Mandarin was really just an actor in the storyline of the movie. He was just hired on to play someone that looked like the Mandarin and not the real Mandarin. And for those of you that own the that own the Thor: The Dark World DVD or Blu-ray, you saw the Marvel one-shot, All Hail the King, or I think that's what it's called. Anyways, I mean, All Hail the King was just about about Trevor Slattery getting interviewed by what we find out to be a representative of the 10 Rings. So, in that, he says someone very important wants to meet you, teasing that the Mandarin is still very much existing in the MCU. So what if we get the Mandarin later on in the future? And what if we get some form of, either Iron Lad or Iron Heart later on down the line, and they take on the fight to the Mandarin? That's going to be some absolutely crazy stuff to see, guys. I personally cannot wait. If we get that down the line, that'll be amazing. For me too, I mean, a lot of different movies have been confirmed. A lot of different things have been thought about in terms of the actual MCU and in terms of the series, the announcements going forward. We all have our sights set on, the streaming service that is coming up for Disney. Disney Plus is also going to go ahead and try to figure out what's going to happen, because I know a lot of different TV shows have been announced already. So TV shows such as the Hawkeye TV show, I think, got announced as well. The Loki one has been announced. That's right. Falcon and the Winter Soldier. WandaVision's been announced. A lot of those have different potential and different ones that we're going to be able to go ahead and see this play out as. It's absolutely insane. This is going to just, the next few years that we're going to be waiting to see all these different characters come to life. There's going to be so much for us going forward. But guys, we're going to be talking about more of that, obviously. We're going to be talking about all kinds of things here in the videos and in this particular episode coming up. However, guys, I do want to take a quick little break, and we're going to be coming back, obviously, to talk a little bit about more theories, more of what's to come in terms of what we can expect, what we do think is going to happen. Anyways, guys, this is going to be another song for another good band here in Colorado. So it's a kind of a Colorado potpourri today. This is by Short Fuse 59. It is called Dip Out, off of their EP. I'll again put links in the description so you guys can take a listen to for yourself. But this is Dip Out by Short Fuse 59.
Represent Colorado hardcore motherfuckers. Get the fuck up, you fake ass pussy. It's like a stitch, and you end up in the fucking ditch. No heroes gonna step my knife to your fucking death.
Well, guys, as we've talked about before, I mean, what is going to happen going forward in the MCU? What can we expect? You know, we talked a little bit about what to expect in the new upcoming movie, Spider-Man Far From Home. Now, Kevin Feige, what I touched on earlier, Kevin Feige came out recently and said that movie, excuse me, that movie in particular, Spider-Man Far From Home, is going to be the final installment of the Phase 3 of movies. The closing to the Infinity Saga. Wow. Going forward, you know, we can expect a lot of different things. We can definitely look forward to what's going to be happening and think of, you know, what's going to be coming forward. Obviously, there's a lot of different theories and a lot of different things to expect. Yes, we had just gotten back the rights to characters from the Fantastic Four franchise and the X-Men franchise. It is going to take a little bit of time, though, to see all of those different characters come to the MCU and see them being brought to light. I don't doubt for a second that there are currently excuse me, that Kevin Feige is currently trying to figure out plans to bring said characters into the MCU. Excuse me, guys. Sorry, just had to take a quick little drink. Whether that be through, you know, means of a different reality, through means of something caused by the snap, you know, any number of things that could go ahead and happen and be factored into that. There's a lot to think about when it comes to talking about what theories are going to happen and what events are going to happen, how certain characters are going to be brought in, and more importantly, who are going to be playing these characters going forward. Because are they going to be still keeping people like James McAvoy around? Who are they going to recast to play Wolverine? Because I know, you know, Hugh Jackman, he's stated before that he wants to be done with the character, but he also said that if Marvel contacted him to play the Wolverine character again, and it involved a team up with the Avengers in some magnitude, that he would consider coming back. So that's also something to think about. But, you know, moving forward, we don't have any plans just yet. So unless anything happens that Marvel announces something, then that'll be something to speculate. San Diego Comic-Con this year is going to be happening around July or August time. So Marvel is going to have their Phase 4 announcements. From what I'm hearing and from what we're seeing online, they are going to be announcing what is going to happen with Phase 4 going forward. We already know that the likes of the Black Widow movie is going to be in pre-production. So that is going to be taking place in a time frame before, obviously, it's going to be a prequel movie, so, you know, taking place before the events or anything happened during the Avengers Endgame, stuff like that. So we are going to be waiting to try to figure out when that's going to be taking place. Are we going to see Natasha Romanoff? Are we going to see a different Black Widow? Who knows? And then the biggest teaser, we also have, you know, obviously, Guardians Volume 3. That is back in production. That is back on schedule to be released. You know, no official production has started just yet from, you know, from news sources. We can't confirm anything or the exact date. All we know is that it's going to be back on production. So you could imagine that, you know, a little bit later this year or maybe on to next year that they are going to go ahead and start a production on that movie. Another thing too is that, you know, we also have the second Black Panther movie that is going to be happening. So they did confirm that Ryan Coogler will be back to go ahead and direct that movie. Honestly, with that movie, there's a lot that you could think about. The big thing, too, that people theorize is that in Avengers Endgame, there was a scene when Okoye was reporting to Natasha Romanoff about what certain things that were happening, and then that Natasha asked her about seismic activity in the Atlantic, at the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean. One thing that people have been teasing and people think is that it's Namor. You know, is Namor going to be appearing soon in the MCU? Could that be a way to introduce Namor to the MCU? So far, there's been no confirmation. I believe the actual writers of Avengers Endgame said that, hey, I mean, that'd be really smart for us to do, but we didn't think of that. So, I mean, I don't think it's Namor necessarily. May have just been, an earthquake. I could see why people would think that, but, I mean, let's not get ahead of ourselves just yet, guys. I mean, I'd love to see Namor in the MCU as well, but, well, let's keep that going forward and just, hope. But, at the end of Avengers Endgame, we also saw Thor go off with the Guardians at the end of the movie. So, in Guardians Volume 3, are we also going to be seeing Thor in that movie? And then could we be getting a fourth Thor movie along the lines? I mean, Thor has been giving a pretty good character arc over the last few movies. I absolutely loved these moments that he's had. I loved him in Endgame. I loved him in Infinity War. Loved him in Ragnarok. Chris Hemsworth is holding it down. He's definitely had a revitalization for the character ever since Taika Waititi directed Ragnarok, in my opinion. That has been absolutely eye-opening for them, and I mean, I feel like, would stay on there as long as there is that freedom, and you do have somebody like Taika Waititi or James Gunn directing that franchise going forward and seeing where that could be taking place. Obviously, a Captain Marvel sequel is going to happen. You gotta, still show one of the newest Avengers love there. I mean, a lot of people had some complaints that, hey, Captain Marvel wasn't really in Avengers Endgame that much. Well, I mean, yeah, she wasn't in there that much, but a lot of it is that, Marvel didn't want to put her heavily in the movie because they were wanting to just have that as a safety net just in case the movie flopped. Well, the movie didn't flop. Captain Marvel was actually extraordinary. I thought, besides everybody's opinions about Brie Larson, which were complete and utter bullshit. Let's get real, guys. Complete and utter bullshit. Brie Larson played a great role. I mean, she showed a whole different side of, Captain Marvel that we didn't see. And obviously, for those of you who don't know, that movie was based off of the 2012 run of the Captain Marvel comics. So a lot of that did have hidden Easter eggs, references to the comics as well. I thought it was all around great. So what can we hope for Captain Marvel going forward as well? We're obviously going to see that sequel. Nothing confirmed 100% yet, so maybe more involvement with the Skrulls at that point. Maybe delving a little bit further into the cosmic side of the MCU. Speaking of the cosmic side of the MCU, Warlock. Warlock is also going to be another big character that was teased. Now, James Gunn has said that, Warlock has been teased for Guardians Volume 3. Now, I don't know how exactly that's going to go down. I know he was teased at the end of Volume 2 with, the Sovereign creating him in his pod. And, gosh, man, I mean, if you guys, again, have read the comics, you know who Adam Warlock is. You know how relevant he is to the Infinity Gauntlet storyline. You know his interaction with the Soul World and the Soul Gem in the comics. I feel like that's going to be a great character. I mean, no one confirmed to play him just yet. I would hope it's someone like Adam Driver, and my friends have even said this before. What if we had someone like Zac Efron come and play him? I mean, I wouldn't be mad about it. My personal thing is that, I mean, if you have someone like Zac Efron come in and play a character like Warlock, I'm not going to be immediately against it. I would just want to see the movie first and see at least some iteration of him playing the character before I can go ahead and make up my opinion and say, oh, this is actually pretty good. This is going to be pretty cool. And obviously I am familiar with his previous work, but that's besides the point. We can probably, go on and see who you would cast as different characters for future MCU movies. And of course, about more cosmic characters, Nova. Now, I mean, obviously, with the decimation of Xandar that had happened in the MCU, the decimation of Xandar, of course, happening off-screen during the events of Avengers Infinity War, where Thanos was able to obtain the Power Stone. Absolute insanity. I mean, if they have maybe a clip of something, maybe incorporate the destruction of Xandar going forward for the MCU in Nova's own movie and have him introduced that way, that would be perfect. I mean, with Nova, he is actually one of the last remaining members of the Nova Corps, and his powers were passed down to an Earthling. Much like, obviously a certain DC character with a Green Lantern ring. Just kidding, guys. I love Green Lantern. I like characters from DC. I'm not kidding. But I am pretty excited to see what they could do with Nova going forward as well. We already obviously know what's going to happen there. Further Spider-Man theories, I mean, maybe a multiverse type of thing. I mean, there's already been theories about Tom Hardy's Venom crossing over into the MCU, being that, now there's this whole theory that there's multiverses coming into play. Are we also going to see Miles Morales? That would be insane. And I found this Facebook post that said, it's not an official Facebook post from Marvel, but it's a theory discussing, what movies could be going forward in the MCU. So there's different stuff like, the Wasp and the Escape from the Microverse. So, I mean, Evangeline Lilly being given her own movie as the Wasp in the MCU, I would be about that. I mean, I love her character in the MCU. I really liked Hope Van Dyne and her getting to wear in the mantle of the Wasp. That needs to happen more. I mean, I would be okay if she got her own TV show in a Disney streaming service. So, Disney, Marvel Studios, if you're listening to this, hear me out. You need to make this happen. And then obviously Ant-Man versus the Masters of Evil. That'll be another cool one to see. This one in particular that I'm actually reading here. You guys, I mean, obviously there's no official timeline of the MCU movies, but apparently there's a rumor going around by 2022 we will see Avengers 5. Now, I would say that's a little bit reaching, to be honest with you. I mean, already a big team-up movie like that after a huge team-up like Avengers Endgame, absolute insanity that happened during Avengers Endgame, we know that. But in a fifth Avengers movie, we don't know about that just yet. I mean, we could have plans change on it. Maybe before they do that movie, are they going to introduce characters like the X-Men? Are we going to see the Fantastic Four? And obviously, who's going to be the big bad of the next phase of the MCU going forward? Is Far From Home going to be able to set that up? I personally think so, and fingers crossed, because I'd love to see Galactus or Kang the Conqueror or even Annihilus play, a part in the next phase of the MCU movies. But guys, more on that, more of, what I think we could maybe see during the next phase of the MCU going forward, maybe even a little bit about the, maybe even a little bit more about different people in the MCU, are like different characters. Are we going to see more of certain characters in the MCU? Are we going to see more of, our favorite characters and our favorite people in the MCU? Who knows what is going to happen, really? I mean, like I said, this is all just opinion-based. This is all just, like a crazy what if. All crazy what if on that we can do. But anyways, guys, let me know what you think. We are going to take another music break here. Here's another band from Colorado, guys. They're, again, friends of mine that are fairly new band. You can go ahead and check them out. They're called Mind's Eye, and this is going to be their song called Crucial Time. Again, it's going to be Mind's Eye with their song Crucial Time on NerdSpot CO's Nerdcast.
fucking bit. We could never abide by these rules. I think it's safe to say, invent the new, set the old on its way. We're making a run, and you can take that away. Removing bricks from your foundation. We'll watch as everything gives way. As everything gives way, redefining the world that you know, and you'll be left in the dust. Left in the dust, left in the fucking dust. Step to the side, we're taking it back. We got the heart that you fucking lack. The storm to stop you, dead in your tracks. And we ain't giving you back, so come and get me. Oh. This is a threat, not a fucking promise. Survival of the fittest. So come and get me.
All right, everyone. Now we're back getting to try to wind everything down and try to, summarize what all we're talking about here with today's episode of the of the NerdSpot Nerdcast. Definitely exciting things to look forward to with the MCU that we've been talking about. One part of the MCU that, everyone is obviously has been confirmed already, everyone is expecting, and we did mention it a little bit earlier, is the Disney Plus streaming service, the shows that are actually coming out with that. So, the Captain, or not the Captain, I almost said Captain Falcon, that would have been embarrassing. Wrong universe here, guys, wrong turn. I meant to say Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and then we also have, the WandaVision series that's coming, the Loki TV series, and obviously, God, what else? I do think we also have a What If series coming out about Peggy Carter. I don't know if that's been 100% confirmed yet, but think of all the different possibilities that you are going to be able to have with each and every storyline in those, respective series. Had to take a water break, guys. I'm sorry about that. As for, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, this is going to be one that I think will definitely have, a really good storyline behind it. Considering, the events of what happened during Avengers Endgame, where Captain America obviously went back to put back the Infinity Stones. He stayed with Peggy Carter, so Old Man Cap returned, and we got to see Old Man Cap hand off the shield to none other than his friend Sam Wilson, who, obviously is going to take now the mantle of Captain America. So what implications is that going to have for Sam's character? What is going to be, the direction that they're going to take that in? Are they going to have maybe a new Avengers or a new Young Avengers, things like that? Or are they going to introduce more characters to be involved with that? And I mean, some people are, kind of criticizing that and saying, oh, they didn't give the shield to Cap, blah, blah, blah. Or they didn't, give the shield to Winter Soldier. They didn't give it to Bucky. Bucky deserved it. Well, Bucky's character is more so being more set up for him to be the White Wolf, I think, and take over as the White Wolf. Eventually, we might see things go down a different road, but for now, for the foreseeable future, I definitely see this team-up series between them, playing out with Sam holding the shield for the whole series and the duration of that. Another thing, too, is that, with the WandaVision, I'm not too sure about when that's going to be taking place and when exactly that is going to go ahead and be happening. There could be some different things taking place, different storylines, maybe similar to what, House of M was. I've heard theories about, there being a House of M storyline. so far going down. But, you know, for the House of M, wouldn't we have to have the X-Men played into that? Yeah, we probably would. So I don't know if about that happening, guys. I mean, I take what I'm saying, you know, with a grain of salt. I can't confirm or deny that it's going to happen, but I mean, if you think about it in the logical perspective, it's not going to happen, sadly, as much as we'd all like to see the House of M played out in the series. Excuse me. And as for the Loki TV series, the Loki TV series is also something big that people have been expecting. It's going to leave a lot of doors open to the MCU, especially if they start it to where, you know, it takes off of the events of what happened with the 2012 Loki during Avengers Endgame, because we saw the scene where 2012 Loki got a hold of the Tesseract even when he was bound, and he escaped using the Tesseract. So that could create a whole different timeline where Loki escapes and he is, you know, playing around with humanity, messing around with humanity, you know, for all of history and going forward. That could be something that would be amazing to see. I'm interested, and you know, some people had said that they are not planning on bringing back Tom Hiddleston to play that in the series, and I'm thinking, you know, I don't know if that's true. I really don't know if that's true, because we have Tom Hiddleston himself announced it on his official Instagram page and said that, you know, yes, there's more stories to be told about that. There's more of them to be said. So for those of you who are big fans of Loki, I know a lot of you are big fans of Loki. We are going to be able to get more Loki in the next installment of movies, so that's going to be great to see. Or not the installment of movies, but, you know, the Disney Plus streaming service. That's going to be extraordinary to see. I really can't wait for that to happen, especially along the lines of what Disney's going to have planned. Obviously, a lot of, you know, the Disney streaming service, they're also going to bring in even more Marvel-related stuff. So they're obviously going to have the MCU movies playing on there. They're obviously going to have you know, a lot of different things happening. And another thing too, I mean, Disney also has control over all of Hulu. So what does that mean? Are we going to see more Marvel-related content? I mean, they have confirmed that more Marvel-related TV shows are going to be coming. I think about 4 series or so. We so far have, you know, The Runaways and Cloak and Dagger on there, so that'll be really interesting to see, really awesome to hear from about the series. That's going to be crazy to think about. Who knows? Maybe a bunch of the TV shows will be coming back, because we know we're missing Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Punisher. Oh man, I'm bummed about Punisher and Luke Cage being canceled, guys. I know how you feel. Anyways, guys, I mean, that's definitely something to think about. Now, I am going to before we do wrap everything up for the day, I am going to take another music break. We're going to kind of break away from playing bands that were in Colorado. Check it out. This is Terminal Nation with the song Ice Watch. Terminal Nation from Little Rock, Arkansas. Definitely check them out. More in the description below. But, you know, we are going to, when we come back after this, we are going to be wrapping things up for the episode. But this is Terminal Nation with their song Ice Watch off of their split with Neckbeard Death Camp called the One Party, or the, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry guys, the One Party Watch System. So again, do enjoy that, guys, and here's Terminal Nation.
You cannot claim to be a hero when you are an enemy of the fucking people. crime against humanity. This is a crime against humanity. This is a crime against humanity.
All right, everyone, that about does it for the NerdSpot Nerdcast episode 2. Obviously, guys, you know, a lot of different stuff about the MCU to look forward to, a lot of what-if situations you can figure out, you know, a lot of things that they can do now. I mean, we even have talks about the Shang-Chi movie coming, or the Shang-Chi, the Shang-Chi movie that is coming, you know, soon, probably down the line. Obviously, always possibilities, you know, with the X-Men being brought in soon, things like that that are going to be happening. So who knows what we could see out of the MCU going forward? Who really knows? Obviously, already been what's been talked about, things like that. It is free range to speculate. It is free range to be talked about on social media. So I'm going to open it to you guys. What do you think? What do you think is next for the MCU? What do you feel, what would you like to see in the MCU going forward now that we've gotten these huge storylines out of the way, now that the Infinity Saga and the first 3 phases of the MCU are finished? Where can we go? Obviously, guys, we're all excited. We're all in this together. Do please like, share, subscribe for more great content. Follow the links in the description below to, you know, keep in touch with us. We do appreciate all of you guys here at NerdSpot CEO. Again, guys, check everything out in the links in the description below. Give a shout out to ShortFuse59, Terminal Nation, Cyclone is Filth, and of course Mind's Eye. Go ahead and check their music out. Again, this is Jets from NerdSpot, signing out. Peace.